It's looking good, it's looking right. Been through the days and through the nights. I felt the pressure, I felt the pain. Feel good now, finally.
What's happening, world? It's me, Ryan Chris Tate, aka Mr. Feel Good Now. And today we're doing a very, very sensitive subject, man. We're talking about bullies and why are some kids being picked on, and why are the kids who are the bullies, why are they doing what they do? That's the first thing we have to get to. And the reason why a lot of kids, like the bullies, why they do what they do is because what's going on at home. It's something that's been done to them. It's a learned behavior. So they just didn't come up with these things in their head. It's just what's going on with their lives. Like maybe at home they're being abused physically or mentally. So the only way they could feel good about themselves is to do it to somebody else, because they don't like feeling inferior. So naturally they're gonna want somebody else to feel how they feel. So that's why, like, bullies are not naturally tough people. They're just like, they're angry, and that's the only way they know how to deal with their frustrations. See, a bully's job is to, like, you know, he backs you up, he picks on you, he does all these things to you until he gets you in a corner. And when he gets you in that corner, he got you because you have nowhere to go now. And by you backing up, it's showing that you're afraid of him, and that gives him more power. So once you get, I'm going to give you three options you have to deal with the bully. And once you learn these options and choose them, you could empower yourself. Therefore, now you're backing the bully up because you're not worried about him. So the first option is you could choose to ignore a bully. Now that might sound like, oh yeah, he's just talking, he doesn't know what he's talking about, because, you know, some kids who are being picked on, they're afraid to ignore the person because they feel like they keep going. But naturally, if you choose to ignore somebody and they're chirping in your ear, and you turn your head, eventually they're gonna have to shut up because you're not paying attention. He could keep talking, but your job is to just ignore that person, and eventually they have nothing else to say. So they're gonna have to stop talking. And the thing too, the key to that is, like, because people, a lot of the kids, man, like I've talked to somebody recently about something like this, and they're like scared, you know, like they said, I've been picked on, I've been bullied my whole life because, you know, my skin color or whatnot. So they don't know how to ignore it, because when you're by yourself, it's harder to defend yourself, because now you feel like the whole world against you. You have nobody to turn to. You might think nobody's listening to you. So you don't know how to deal with it. But what I'm telling you is take some of my advice, man. And you could choose this option, is ignore the person, because eventually people get tired of talking to the back of your head. Okay? Now, number two option is you could choose to walk away from that person. And those options are kind of similar, but you have to realize that ignoring somebody, you could still sit, let's say you're sitting in your desk or you're at work in your office, and you choose to ignore this person, so you just sit there and listen to them talk. But walking away is a whole new option, because bullies now, yeah, if you walk away from a bully, you just walk away. They're just talking to themselves, and you're not worried about what's going on. You know, and like I said, the bully's job, their job is because they feel inferior for whatever is going on in their life. You know, at home, something's happening. Their parents is doing something. Their friends, something is, maybe they have an older brother that's picking on them, that's making them feel that, and they want you to feel that. So like I said, if you walk away from them and just leave them be, they're gonna have to leave you alone. Or you could choose the option that I strongly recommend, is that you stand up to the bully. You let that bully know, listen, I'm not afraid of you. You know, and eventually, if somebody keeps chirping at you, saying they're going to do this to you, they're going to do that to you, because that's what bullies do, and you stand up to that person and say, you know what, man, I'm not afraid of you. So eventually, he's going to have to do what he said he was going to do to you. If a bully says, I'm going to punch you out, I'm going to kick you after school and all this stuff, and you say, you know what, whatever, I'm ready for you. Naturally, or eventually, he's going to have to do it. And if he does it, you got to be ready to defend yourself. You know, so once you learn to defend yourself and protect yourself, the bully's eventually, you know, he's going to be afraid of you now, because you're showing no signs of fear. And this is the option I strongly recommend. Don't be afraid of people, man. Just do what you have to do, and the bully will have to back down, because a bully, naturally, they're not tough by nature. It's just something they need to get off their chest. And for the bully, like the kids who are being bullied, there's lots of help out there for you guys. You could either talk to your teacher, you know, maybe talk to your parents, talk to someone who's willing to listen. And that also goes for the bullyee, the kid who's out here, because the only and real reason why he's bullying somebody is because somebody's done something to him that he doesn't like. So these guys have to learn also to maybe talk to a counselor. I don't know, maybe talk to, you know, a doctor, somebody that's willing to help you. Until next time, man, just take these tips I just said. 1, you can choose to ignore the bully. 2, you can walk away from him. Or 3, you could just stand up to him. Learn to defend yourself and show people you're not afraid. Because when you're not afraid of people, people cannot walk over you. They can't take advantage of you. And that's the option I strongly recommend, is to stand up to the bully and let him know you're not afraid of him. So until next time, you could go to my channel or subscribe to my videos, make some comments, but feel good now.
It's looking good, it's looking right. Been through the days and through the nights. I felt the pressure, I felt the pain. Feel good now.